Day one and all, Kathy here, welcoming you to this episode of the Scrap Crafty Gardener. Now today I am going to be making a card based on this past Friday's Craft Roulette Challenge number 265. If you are not familiar with the YouTube channel Craft Roulette, oh, you really need to check it out. I will have a link in the description box below. Just click on where it says more, and that will take you to the episode. This show, they spin the wheel every Friday night. They spin a roulette wheel, and they tell you what kind of project you have to make, what colors you have to use, what elements and random things that you've got to throw in there. For this challenge, we need to make a gift card, colors of a train, the element, something to do with science, and random, you have to add a flower. So I thought, oh, cool. So I am going to be using one of my new products. I wondered how I was going to use this, and this challenge I think will work out perfect for it. I'm using the Cricut Creations Sidewalk sign die along with the matching Matchbox die, and I've already cut those out. This is one, of course all my pieces are falling off. And I chose my train colors of Conrail, which are this beautiful bright blue and white. And then you have some black of the wheels. And then you've got a little gray dust on the side. That's where I'm throwing the gray in there. It's because the train's dusty. So let me get this together. This die, you need a large platform to cut this one out because it's a little bit longer than the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So you kind of have to take a full sheet and angle it. So you really need a large base to cut this out. But it is so cute. All right. And all you do is fold this. So I'm going to use my bone folder here. And these are already created for you. I don't need to fold the legs down. Just need to fold the inside pieces. And then look, that'll just slip right in there together. And you've got a cute little sandwich. I call it a sandwich board. They call it a sidewalk board. And then I cut out two of the pieces of white here. But I want to cut one of them down because I am going to make the back of this be able to hold a gift card. So I think I want to cut off about this much. And I'm just going to guess what that is. I'm thinking right about in there. Make sure I got it straight as I can. Could do this with my scissors, but I like my new little cutting board. There. And then that'll go on the back. And I'm going to pop that up a little bit so that you'll be able to fit your gift card down inside. But I need to do some decorating first. So now I have the piece of scrap. And then the little matchbox is so cute. It makes the whole box. And the folds are already on here. You just have to crease them. This makes the lid and then the box bottom. Yep, so that'll go together like that. So I'm going to glue that together right now. And I'm going to use my new glue. Oh, got to put that back in the holder. Don't lay it down. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder and just kind of run it in there. Okay, and then it has little pieces that you cut and put on here. And I'm not going to do anything with these other than put them on. But I am going to embellish the top. This is such a cute die, and I can see all sorts of uses for it. I kind of want to turn this into, I've got some of those little mini calendars, and wouldn't that be cute to have on your desk with the calendar pages? And then this Matchbox fits down inside, and it will hold 2 little Hershey candies, or I think it's nugget sized. But I'd rather have, I'm not fond of the nuggets. I'd rather have the plain Hershey chocolate. Don't get me wrong, I like nuts. I just don't prefer them with my chocolate. If that makes sense. I'm kind of almost, well, Dad always said I was picky, but I call myself a food purist. I like peanut butter, I like jelly, but don't you dare mix them up. You put them together, that's not right. Okay, now I'm going to add a flower. I'm just going to put a little decorative flower on top of here, but I want to kind of color the edges a little bit, and I have my little waffle flower grip mat here. I think this is a 6x6 size. I don't need anything big today. All right, and I'm just going to get my, I'll use my regular blue brush. And I'm just going to color the tips with blue raspberry. Just the edges. Blue raspberry is the color of the paper, or the cardstock that I used to make the sandwich board. And I thought this would just add in nicely to the flowers. Right. And then I'm going to use my Zots. Oh, those are large ones. Oh, I want them. These are just glue dots. You could glue this on if you wanted to. But these just make it so much easier. Now this is a flower from Spellbinders. It's an old one. In fact, it doesn't even have their name, Spellbinders, on it. It just has their patent number on the back. And this is patent pending. So this is one of their older flower dies. And I can show you. That's this one. It's a set of flowers. And it's so old, I don't know the name of it. And now on the center of this, I'm going to put a little rhinestone. So I'm just going to put a little gem in there. And I've got some, oh yes, that baby blue one will go in there nicely. And I'm going to put one of the large ones. This is just a set of flowers somebody gave me for Christmas. So that's the outside of our box. And you could decorate that up various ways. You could have even made the box blue and done some stencils on the white. I'm just going to set this over here because I still need to use that. Now I'm making the actual Matchbox. And it already comes, the die cuts it and scores it, so you just have to fold it and glue it together. Could use double-sided tape. And for this, I'm only using a medium weight cardstock. It's not 110 pound. I want to say it's about 80 pound. You could do this in the 110 pound if you wanted to make a real sturdy box. But this is just for a small gift, so it doesn't really need to be exceptionally sturdy. I could see putting a little ring in here if you were going to ask someone to be friends or your fiance or whatever. And then this will just fit right inside. That's the box part. Now we can finish this up. I'm going to get my shader back out, and I'm just going to clean that off a little bit with my tidy towel. Because now I'm going to take the front and the back piece and stencil it. And I'm using GinaK's Harvest Flourish. And this is where I'm adding in the gray dust that's on the train. It's been sitting alongside the tracks for too long. You know, everything gets dirty. Oh, where's my gray brush? Yeah, there it is. And I'm just kind of doing a medium color here. I want it to show, especially this back side. Yes, that's perfect. And now I'm just going to take my tape strips, and I had already cut these short the other day, so I'm just going to use what I have. Cut a couple more shorter. Oops, gotta take the cover off the scissors before they work. And maybe cut some of those. And I also want to make sure I put some across the bottom of this because I do not want my gift card to fall out the bottom. Okay, I'm going to use my new little tool. You know, I don't have my glasses on. Wondered why everything was a little fuzzy. I love this paper backing removal tool. This is by Eureka Stamps or stamponit.net, but I'm sure that there's tons of these out there. This is just where I got that at the scrapbook convention. This was only $2.99, so it was definitely well worth the money. One more to go. All right, now the front and the back are the same, so it's up to you to choose which one you want to be the back. And I'm going to put that on, get it straight as I can. And that's where your gift card will slide right down inside. Now for the front, I am going to stamp that first. So I'm going to move that stamping my grip mat aside and get out my little Misty. And this is where I mix stamp and die companies all the time. You don't have to use the same one. I'm using, again, the one I just got in the Simon Says Card Kit of the Month. This is the Beautiful and I can't talk today. Beautiful and Curious stamp set. I loved this flower. And this, I did this in embossing pattern before, and I just want to stamp this. And I am just going to stamp that in my VersaFine Claire Nocturne. So I'm definitely getting the flower element from this challenge. I added a flower to the box, which I could have stamped this flower on top of the box cover. That would have been cute. That looks good. Just clean this off with my tidy towel. Okay, and I want to stamp one more thing while I have my stamping platform out. I want to put a sentiment on this, and I want to pop up the sentiment. So I have a scrap of white paper here somewhere. Not that. Okay. Well, this is the stamp set I want to use. This is GinaK's Essential Greetings Stamp and Die Bundle, and I want to do Happy Birthday. I don't see my scrap paper. Oh, there it is. I set it across the room. Just a moment. And look what was hiding right here. I have one already prepared. I had tore this up earlier and totally forgot about it, but I don't think this is long enough. No, so I'm glad I went to get the other piece. And I'm going to do happy birthday. And I don't believe I have used this. No. Okay, be careful of your pokey tool. I don't believe I have used this yet. So I need to condition it, which means getting the factory coating off. And I'm just going to stamp that with a VersaPine. Oh, didn't break the skin. Felt like it. I have one of those years, I think. That is perfect. So I'm just going to set that aside, clean this off. And now I need to get the matching die that goes with that because I want to die cut that out. Okay, and as to which one it is, nope. Oh, yes, I got it on the second try. Okay. I need to put those in an order. Not that they'll stay that way, because when I get busy working, I just put things here, there, and everywhere. Die cut this out. Perfect. All right, I'm going to get my grip mat back out and my stencil because I want to do some of the gray and I'm losing my voice. I don't know how the weather's been where you guys are at, but this week for about the past 5 days in a row, it has just rained and rained and rained all day long. And the grass is, well, about 6 or 8 inches tall. Now I'm just going to randomly put this stencil. I don't really want to go over my flower. So I'm just going to hit and miss. Just adding in a little bit of texture. A little bit more over here. And a little bit more right there. That's good. I like that. I'll bring that up so you can kind of see. All right. Put my brushes away. Clean this off. And then I can start putting this together and bling it up like crazy. Okay. Cover up that ink. Okay. I glue this on the front. Now you could certainly fold this after you've already got your pieces on here. I just thought it would be easier for me to do placement. Now I want to get the happy birthday across here, but I want to color this up just the littlest bit with some stickles. So I'm using icicle stickles on white. It's kind of golden yellow in here, but when you put it on white, it kind of has like a blue sheen, which I thought would match this color paper very nicely. And I'm just going to put it on the flowers and then use my little stickle brush. Just a paintbrush that I don't wash. I use it only for stickles. So it gets a nice stiff point on it. Sometimes it gets a nice little ball of dried stickles and you just peel that off. You can leave it on if you want a fatter bristle. But if you want fine areas, just pull that glue off. And you can see it's giving it just a little bit of a blue shade. That's why all the white stickles have different colors of glitter in them. It just goes to a beautiful shade, depending on which one you pick. And then there are some stickles that are just a solid color blue. But when I want to leave white as the primary background, the white still shows through, but it has a hint of blue because of the shiny glitter. And then just a little bit on this one over here. I don't want to do a lot on the one on the side. Now this, the icicle is the one where I cut the tip off my bottle because the glitter was so thick that it didn't want to come out at a fine hole. I haven't done that on any of the others, just this one bottle. So it might have just been this particular batch. I don't know for sure. And look at how sparkly. Let's see if we can get the sparkle. It's not really showing up the glitter on camera. Okay, I'm done with that. Now I'm going to put one of my foam strips on the back. And these ones I cut these in half the other day. And I just need a small piece part. Use my new tool. Saves on the fingers. That it does. And I'm going to put happy birthday right across the flowers. And then I'm going to add just a few little sequins. Not sequins, rhinestones. Now, I thought on the back, I have some hearts that are clear. And I kind of want to I'm going to put one in the middle. I was wanting to put more on the sides, but I think I'll stick with the smaller rhinestones for that area. Just have to have a little something on the back. I think I'll put one in this corner. And one in this corner. All right, and I don't need a lot here. I think I want to do the Aurora Borealis ones on this side because they'll feed off the sparkle from the stickles. And just add a little hint of color and a little bit of texture. And not very many. I think I'll do one more. And then this fits right inside. All right, that's my project. Let me see if I've met all the parameters. Project, gift card. Yep, I'm gonna put a gift card in the back. You can put a little chocolates or a bracelet or a ring or just some little gift inside here. And then you have the board itself that can stand up and sit on a shelf. So the card itself is a gift. The colors of a train, I went with Conrail, which is this beautiful blue and white with black from the wheels and a little bit of gray from the dust on the train. Science, I went with horticulture. So we've got these beautiful flowers and the flower on top of the box in there. And I think that would have been pretty if I would have stamped it on that box too. So I may change that up. And random, add a flower. I added a flower. to the matchbox and a flower to the front of the card. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if this is interesting to you, check out Creek Bank Creations because this is just adorable. And I can see me making several of these. Thanks for watching.